like the lyrics in like at two totally separate times. But then I was able to figure out if I just glued them all together, it creates a pretty decent song. I like to think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you'll hear that here coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing that inspires me to write, I'd have to say, for at least right now, Brody is one of the main song lyricist and guitar like composer, I guess. He composes, but I'm starting to get there because I actually just started writing, like about a year ago, and I started playing guitar my junior year of high school, because I didn't really have the ability to until COVID. But music's always been a part of my life. But the main thing that makes me um, just want to do music for the rest of my life and want to share my music with everybody is, for me, it's just the way I can help change people's lives on the grandest scale, and share a little bit of my story, um, in a way that I think I'm the best at. I'm not necessarily the best, um, with speaking, but like I think sometimes I can share some cool stories through my guitar and my singing.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way on like the whole picture thing. I don't know if I would say I'm out to like change people's lives, but I think my main goal is to make people feel, for lack of a better term, like less alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say the
Um,
same. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, pretty much. But I'm pretty new to the whole thing as well. I mean, I started pretty late. Like I didn't start playing guitar till I was like 16, and then like songwriting around the same time. But I mean, yeah, for me, it's always been about the song more so than it has been the guitar.
I I have to kind of agree with you on that as far as like not changing people's lives, but more like impact them in some kind of way. And not
Right.
only that, kind of gets a satisfaction from the actual songwriting to you know get that the listener to respond and in a positive way and how it did affect their lives involuntary or whatever and and I think a lot of that comes through in the passion to write the song and what your your intentions of writing the song and all that because a lot of mainstream things kind of only go with one way. They only got to go with what's popping or it's kind of hard to find mainstream bands that I don't want to say just mainstream because obviously every up and coming band wants to be heard and
Right.
of course that would lead to fame to whatever extent but most importantly being heard and I think sometimes once you lose the passion to I don't want to say passion to please because you have to like the song and the
Right.
songwriting the process yourself before you can expect anybody else but I think just sticking to your guns and doing what you love and making it sound good if people don't listen to it or it impacts their lives at least it's still something that you can hold on to as well because I
Right.
mean at the end of the day it's still a part of you and your
Cheaper
life.
than therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I just remember just going through really tough times and having a song come in there, or having an artist that I find really just like help me go through it,
They get it.
and and um and and then I'd find out more about the artist and like what their mission is, and like and and it would just really help me just like move through it. And I think like that is also, for me, that's one of the main reasons why I want to do music, is because I hope that I can try to be that for someone when there wasn't really people there for me and it was more music.
More music, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah, I love writing music. Y'all got a kick-ass band. Tell us a little bit about more of like the styles that y'all are leaning towards, or if it's just more of like that kind of I don't know southern or what direction are y'all trying to take the actual music?
So it's kind of a weird collage. Like none of our songs, I don't think, really sound too similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we don't like. Whenever we started the band, right, we had the Instagram, of course, and we couldn't. We argued for weeks, months over what
About
genre to say our band was in the caption. we just settled on alternative
That's-
because there was no easy answer. But
There's so many of them nowadays anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Subgenres and stuff. So
It's kind of pointless.
yeah.
Robin says it's new wave. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, what is it? What does any of it mean?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But yeah, so
I like that. You know, what does it mean?
yeah,
You know,
it's more about what it doesn't mean, I guess.
yeah.
But for the main inspirations that I'm pulling from, a lot of like, it kind of changes over time, but it's a lot of like 80s, 90s, like generally anything alternative. I mean, of course, like you go back, you get like the Beatles, Rolling Stones, all that, you know, the box of checks you have to list. But like The Cure, the Smashing Pumpkins is probably my biggest.
I think I heard y'all cover a song or
Cherub
something.
Rock.
Yep.
Cherub
Yeah,
Rock.
yeah.
That's our opener.
But yeah, I mean, we're both Matt and I are huge,
Huge. And
huge.
honestly, Brody put me, like I knew Mayonnaise and I knew a lot of Siamese Dream, but Brody, like I really started getting into the Pumpkins when it's been very interesting. My time in school has I've hopped from like different very influential people on like my music listening, and for Brody it was like The Cure and the Smashing Pumpkins, because there will be a lot of times where he'll play me a song and I'm like, oh, what's this song? It's great. He's like, you don't know this song?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You don't know this band?
Got to catch you up.
I know.
That and like kind of like the new wave bands like Joy Division. The Smiths is a big one. I mean, you know, you can go on forever. I mean, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, who can't you say? But as far as like the sound itself, I think it's very New Salem.
It is very New Salem.
Whatever that means.
That
sounds
yeah. We focus a lot on we have like two kind of main things we go back and forth around, or at least for right now with our songwriting. We have a lot of like jangly riff type songs. Like 3 of our songs that we have finished are all jangly riff with chords over them, and then we have like a shoegazy, like kind of heavier sound as well for some of it. We're working on a song called Overflow that has like a very much like just like 2 chords type, and it's just heavy
Drone, basically.
Yeah. But the main thing
Y'all definitely like some of those bands that's playing tonight at Siberia, especially Guts Club and Mars. They're like definitely drone, kind of like just real, not doom or sludge or anything, but just like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I did catch some of that, you know, at the show. It was like especially what you say, shoegaze.
Yeah.
I've recently been introduced. Well, about last year, started covering a band, Nidrator. They're from Hattiesburg, but I got into a whole bunch of different, you know, shoegaze kind of bands, and it's I don't know if this is you know, something what the way I see it, or the way I guess classified is only, you know, kind of what I know as be like indie rock or indie pop or like a alt rock or something like that. Just has a different, I don't want to say, well, I'll say ambience to it. You know, it doesn't really sound the same, you know, those genres, but you could tell like the shoegaze and I don't know, just like it's not death metal.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and that's, you know, that's what I've listened to, not listened to a lot, but you could definitely determine the difference between the shoegaze and even the indie rock or alternative compared to even like just some regular rock and roll.
Right.
You know, there is a difference. You know, not to interrupt y'all, but I do like how, you know, y'all brought those types up, and hearing those bands that, you know, we've interviewed. I don't know. It's just a familiar sound. So, I don't know. I'm sorry I cut y'all off.
No.
you're good.
Yeah, I just I think I listen to music constant. Like I don't think I ever not have music in my ears. I so now it's more because I have trouble sleeping without music. I used to be able to sleep without music for a while, and now it's like come back where I have to have music in my ears. And it couldn't be like literally sludge metal that I will listen to and I will go to sleep. I don't know why. I can just sleep with anything, but I just need to have some music in there. I just love listening.
Yeah, it kind of makes an escape.
Yeah.
You know, when you're sitting there relaxing, especially trying to like focus on what the lyrics are really saying
Mm-hmm.
and trying to find the meaning in the song.
Yeah. The thing I do now, very recently, it's 'cause I was having a conversation with our bassist Robin about it. Is if I'll like really like a song. For example, I've been listening to the song by Radiohead called "Optimistic" off Kid A. And I was like, wow, this sounds really good. I want to figure out why I like this, and so I will listen to like each different like. I'll try to pick them out. Sometimes I can't. But at the ending, like the climax of the song, like the drums go crazy. But like you wouldn't really hear that if you're just like listening generally. And like because I didn't hear it until I was like focusing on like, oh my god, he is popping off.
Mm.
And so like that's like my main thing.
Yeah, like dissecting songs is
Exactly,
something I've
yeah.
always really enjoyed.
You hear that one riff that's just like you didn't hear by just listening. You're like, hold on, say, what the hell he just
Yeah.
did? Like,
The Smiths is a great band for like picking it apart because there's a lot to pick apart.
Right.
Yeah, everything's looking good over here, man. I'm still kind of giddy about what we did earlier with the little sample. So we already went through the influences
Mm-hmm.
and where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Bob Dylan too. I
Yeah,
feel like I
can't-
can't forget Bobby.
We're trying to see him. He's coming.
Oh yeah, he is coming.
Yeah.
That's a huge inspiration, especially with stuff that even labels shoegaze and stuff like that.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
I mean, that has to be like the original hippie rock or whatever.
Mm.
I mean, that back then, listening to hearing something like that come out for the first time, I could only imagine what some of those people in the 50s and 60s going from Muddy Waters to something, I guess, psychedelic or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of those styles do kind of derive from those experimental type stuff,
Yeah, we were just talking about Sonic Youth actually in the drive
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Sonic Youth for me is like a big inspiration and like except we've been wary for doing open tunings. We're trying to get into them. But like
I never said that.
okay, well I want to. That's my thing. But
they can be fun. I mean,
I'm sure they can be.
it'd be difficult too.
Just on stage, yeah.
Yeah, I've been consistently. I've been trying to because we try to do some different covers sometimes. We're thinking about doing different covers sometimes. Where I've been trying to get them to do Mayonnaise, by the Smashing Pumpkins, and now I'm gonna put them on the spot. No, I'm just kidding.
You want to do this right now? I can do this right now.
I don't
think you want to
It's
do
all
this
right.
right
No,
now.
it's okay. It's okay. No, but yeah, open tunings are super fun. I mean, like, I've been around a lot of musicians recently that like just swear by them, like only by them, and they're like, well, you can only because I went to my friend Russell's house and he has a guitar that doesn't even have the bottom 3 strings. Like the high E's gone.
Oh, the high.
Yeah.
Keith Richards has a acoustic or not even whatever, guitar where he'll take off the low E,
Yeah.
tune it all to open G, and I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah. So he had his guitar in a tuning that I've been wanting to recreate, but I can't. It was like F, A sharp, F sharp. And it's just that without the G, B, and E strings. And I mean, it makes really cool chords because anything's a major or
Yeah.
major chord.
Yeah,
minor
chord. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play when I first started playing. I guess in a band, that's all I used was the top. Well, the lower strings, 4 strings. I didn't even string up. If I played a 7-string, 8-string, 6-string, I'd only have to be using 4 strings. So.
Nasty.
And I feel as though kind of like what you're saying, I can get a little more out of it as far because I like rhythm playing and stuff.
Right.
And I'll always be playing rhythm and it'd be like you hear something else in there. I'm like, man, forget these things. I went like years without playing 6 strings on a guitar. But it worked out pretty good though. So
Yeah.
I could still do some solos if I wanted to.
I really like a specific way to play some bar chords. Brody definitely knows it. It's like where he's not the biggest fan, but it's where I leave the B and E string open and it creates some dissonance. But it's like it's really cool for some of them. But I love using that type where I can wrap my hand around the neck, but he's been really been like, no, get into power chords, use them, please, because this won't sound great when we put on a big muff. And I'm like, well, all right.
the big muff.
You got-
Oh yeah,
You gotta trust me on this, dude. You
yeah,
gotta
the
trust
big,
me.
yeah, the big muff will definitely absorb all of those.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
But you should run through the audience on your. He has a spaceship, like, but before
I did see that. You had that at the show, right?
Yeah.
That was I was like, holy smoke!
Yeah.
I was with my buddy. I was like, look at that shit.
I'm a big gearhead. Yeah. For me, when it comes to gear, like I have a very, I wouldn't say very specific way of what I like to do, but with the music that we make, it's changing a lot of sounds a lot of the time. So I would love to just have a rig where it just goes straight into the guitar, straight into the amp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like an AC/DC thing. It just doesn't work out like that. So like, cause I'm changing tones like between songs. So I like an amp where it's like a nice open palette, basically. We can color it. So that's why I like Fender amps. And
Yeah, they definitely have that. It's really versatile with not messing with it.
Shout out my blues
Just adjusting
junior.
it by the guitar or whatever you got in front of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my Strat too. Like I bought a weird poncho. My guitar is a really weird story, actually.
Yeah.
Should I tell it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, tell it.
So whenever I first got to college, I had this real. I think we got scammed on it. Really, it was this real. It was this kind of. It was sold to us kind of expensive, but it was a pretty shitty guitar. And so I was just trying to play with it, but it would just hum, and it couldn't even do harmonics, dude. I don't know what was the deal with that. But I was at, I think it was Uptown Music Exchange. You know that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
were you talking about your like jazz?
No.
Okay, no.
No. I went in there and I saw they had this beautiful Strat on the wall. The only thing was it said custom, had like a big gaudy sticker that said custom and SRV on the
Yeah, like a
Pickard.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Pickard.
yeah.
Yeah.
On Pickard,
It's funny, Mark, my guitar teacher, shout out. He's probably gonna be watching this. He also has the same exact guitar.
Well, no, okay, that's the thing, right? They do make those Stevie Ray Vaughan guitars. This was not one of them.
It was just a pick guard or something.
No, it was, I don't know whoever had it, but I think they did that themselves or something. It
Oh,
was like
okay.
a bootleg custom, right?
Right.
So I was like, hey, what's up with that guitar on the wall there? And he's like, oh, yeah, just in for repair. We're just waiting for the guy to come get it. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I leave, come back like 2 weeks later. It's still there. Like, hey, what's up with that Stratocaster on the wall? He's like, oh, well, we're still waiting for the guy to come in. And I was like, well, I mean, what if he doesn't come back for the milk? Come back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
And I was like, how much for it? And he was like, come back in a week and we'll see. And I mean, like, what are the odds that you forget like a beautiful guitar like that, right? So I come back a week later and lo and behold, it's still there. So I get it for like, I think like $600, which he originally wanted like 800, but I talked him down.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think about it, he just got it in for repair. So I didn't even have to set it up or nothing. So yeah, I took it home, took those stickers off. Nothing against Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's just not really my style. But yeah, that's how I got mine. Then I just took out my the bridge single coil pickup and put in a Hot Rails humbucker.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
very
my-
versatile.
Yeah, definitely.
my guitar. I went to Fender.com and I picked out the Telecaster and I
It's not a cool story.
and I know and I put it in my car and I pressed the button and it shipped. It was actually really hard to get to my dorm. That was a real hassle because I was trying to carry it.
Woe is you.
I know. I'm so dramatic.
But yeah, for on my actual board, I'm sorry I've been talking about this for like 45 minutes, but
No, you good. I mean, I'm the same way. That's why I'm not talking, because if I start talking about gear, it's over with.
yeah. But yeah, tuning pedals. I wasn't about them until Robin, our bassist, finally, or actually no, it was you. No, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Till Matt took me to Guitar Center and he was like, I'm going to buy you a tuning pedal. And I was like, please don't. And then he did anyway. And I felt so embarrassed. I put it on my board immediately.
Well, the thing was, I had this. I didn't have any pedals until maybe 4 or 5 months
Till
ago.
I tainted you.
Yeah, exactly. And so we got this like fuzz face pedal that they told me was a fuzz pedal. It wasn't.
yeah.
It was straight an overdrive pedal.
So weird.
And I had already a Friedman overdrive pedal, which I love. So I was like, and it's
Yeah,
huge.
those are the Friedman pedals are great. for
Yeah.
drives.
And So I was like, I don't know what to do with this. It was $170. So I go back and we were there and I was like, I'm just gonna get a tuning pedal. I got my tuning pedal. It's just like a Boss one. And I was like, you know what, Brody, every time I was like, hey, you should get a tuning pedal. He goes, nah.
Wow, I need that for.
Shout out Ciara too, because we just also did the same thing.
Yeah.
You just gotta force people to eat their veggies, and so I was just like, I'm just gonna buy this for you. So, and he was like, no, you don't, please don't. And I was like, your guitar is staying in tune. This is what's gonna happen.
But see, the tuning pedal, and then for distortions, I have it's a Big Muff, but it's an op amp Big Muff. They did like a special line with who else? But the Smashing Pumpkins. So it's like black and orange, it's like their colors.
Wow.
That's the one I always use. I think I have like 2 other Big Muffs that I don't really use anymore. But that's my main one because it's like smaller and actually fit it on the board. And then I'm a big fan of tried and true kind of pedals like DS1, like Big Muff. But I do have some secret sauce pedals that you have to come to the show and see my board if you wanna see what they are.
He can make his guitar sound like a spaceship or like a Dave and Buster's arcade machine.
Yeah.
It's an insane piece of equipment. The whole thing is one piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah.
So yeah, before
living
I knew,
and breathing, it's an organic.
the first time I met Brody, like I left. It was actually, it's a very funny story because I auditioned to be in his band, and on the car ride back, he's like, can you do falsetto for me right now? And I was like, what? And he's like, well, just go in falsetto. Like you can do it. Like you can do it. And
You sent us that video you singing that Radiohead song. I mean, I would think you could.
Yeah. But then afterwards, I was just like, I was trying to figure out if I was gonna be in Doghouse. But Liam went to one of your guys' shows, I think at Neutral Ground or something. And he's the he was at Battle of Bands. I think it was Battle of Bands. He's the drummer for Low Hanging Fruit that actually played with us on Nolan Mix. And I was like, oh, well, do you know anything about Brody? Like, how did he interact with you? He's like, well, no, he didn't interact with me, but he had a spaceship. It rivaled, because we saw The Smile that December, and he was like, it rivaled Johnny Greenwood's.
Yes, sir. That's what we like to hear.
It was just, it's so huge. It's like it's wild. It's like it's wild. There's so much stuff in there on that. I don't even know what half of it does. I don't think, if you explained it to me, I still wouldn't understand it. I have 4 pedals. That's it. I have my tuner. I have my Big Muff. I have the Electro Harmonics Holy Grail, which I thought was like practically useless until I like paired it up with the Big Muff, and I was like, oh wow, it makes sound.
And then you never turned it off again?
And no, I never turn it off. And then I have my Friedman. I think it's just the OD. I don't know. It's a smaller one. There's another one that we saw at Guitar Center which is the same one, but it's just like has 8 more steps. I'm like,
yeah, I think it's a lot of those with the that kind of like the tube emulations in there and stuff for the bigger one. That single button one is a good pedal though.
It's great. We use it for most of our tracks. So like Human, for Dogs, we use it. It's a real for any any type of like grunge, but you don't want like a really heavy sound. It's a really nice twangy. I don't know, overdrive. You can say it better than me. I have no.
Well, yeah, that's what we run on his. So I use the DS1 for mine. And so we kind of like blending like 2 different kind of pedal sounds. So like mine is like the more traditional grunge sound that you'll hear, like everybody in the 90s used it.
Yeah.
And then we have like some more, I guess you could say like modern-ish sounding Friedman. And you kind of blend those together to make an interesting new sound.
I think the DS1's a little more, I don't want to say dirtier.
Yeah.
But that Friedman is a little more, it's got the punch, but it's just, to me, it's a little more tighter or cleaner,
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it does make a
and it has
good blend.
It has a tight knob. I don't know
How
what
about that?
I don't know what that. I don't know what that means, but I've definitely played around with it. When Robin took me to pedal school, because I knew nothing about anything. He was just like, he was just like, play around with it and make good tone, please. Stop, because the main thing was like it would sound like okay, it wouldn't sound great, but I was like, oh well, it's all right. But
I gave him many dirty looks at practice.
I know. Yeah. Oh my. His stink eye at practice is one of the scariest things as a vocalist and as a guitar player. He'll be playing and like last practice he stood all the way. We have this like big band room. He stood all the way there. I didn't see this, but apparently he like turned back and scowled at Robin and Charlotte so much that we all started dying laughing. He has such a stinker face when things do not go correctly.
I can hear it. It crawls under my skin. I can't control it. It just comes out through my eyes.
Right.
I probably went through about 50 to 100 pedals to get down to about 3 or 4 of them in that case over there.
Oh,
It's
wow.
it's a tuner, have precision drive, like Horizon devices, like gate. It's kind of a boost or whatever. I use it more just for the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Yeah.
And I got MXR analog delay, MXR chorus, and MXR like 8-band EQ, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have no distortion pedals. I mean, either one of these will definitely get the job done.
for sure.
Those look so cool. Oh yeah. Robin's bass amp is from the same company.
PVs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
PVs. Yeah.
I know the Pumpkins used
Marshalls.
big Marshall. They use JCM 800s.
JC, yeah, the 800s.
But I never really got that. Like I've played a couple of them in like guitar stores, and I tried to get like both a good clean sound, which they have, and both like their famous like fuzzed out sound. And I can't quite crack that. I don't know if
The thing for me is like you have the crunch in the in the lead side, and what I like to do is I like to try to crunch my clean and then kind of clean up my crunch to get like a real crunchy kind of clean sound or whatever.
yeah.
Excuse me. But on the lead, you can't. It's hard to get a it's gonna be distortion.
Yeah.
It's gonna be definitely a lead channel. This one right here, good luck.
Yeah, it's relatively similar to this new guitar I just bought. It has a really good clean, but it's the Billy Corgan.
Yeah, we're not Smashing Pumpkins fans.
We're
or
definitely
anything.
not Smashing Pumpkins fans. We're definitely not.
All the signature guitars and gear,
Yeah, so no, he
guitar strap.
he has a Reverend. And I was like, I was big on. I was a little scared, skeptical. But that guitar is my favorite guitar I can play. But the thing is, it has a bass modulating knob, which is practically like a
Freaky.
gain pedal in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw some of those guitars that aren't Strats or Tellys that
Yeah.
got still that same shape. I like Guild too. Guild's got a lot of good of those super Strat kind of
Yeah.
guitars. But yeah, you're right. Those other guitars. He just if they sound good, it doesn't matter really the brand name.
And
Absolutely.
apparently the paint, the color affects the tone, right?
That's
So-
true. Color does affect the tone.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to elaborate on
That's
this.
a
one. I think This is the
scientific-
first time I heard it.
Scientifically proven that if you think you're gonna play faster, you play faster. It's all about just drinking the Kool-Aid. You just gotta drink it enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing about buying a guitar is like, for me, it's like, does it look? Honestly, this I was about to say it. I'm just gonna preface. Does it look cool? It's a big thing because, like, for me, I'm looking to get a keyboard because I'm learning how to play piano, and it's not. Well, the keyboard's not gonna look cool. I mean, except for those Nord ones, but those are like ridiculously expensive. But for me, it's like, does it look cool? Does it sound good?
About like
Because
the,
if it
the keytar, is that what it is? The keytar?
yeah. No, New Salem, actually, I am not going to be the guitarist anymore. I'm going to be the guitarist. No.
That would be kind of hard. I could see that.
We could-
yeah.
I think Ghost has a guitarist.
Never mind.
I love. Okay, all right, that's fine. No, but the guitars I have look beautiful and they play beautiful, and it makes me want to play. I think if you have a guitar that
That's
makes
true.
you want to play,
Absolutely.
you'll practice. And I try to practice at least like 2 hours a day.
A lot of people do say that. Just
Yeah.
go get a guitar, it's something cheap so you don't invest in. I tried that. As soon as I got that one with the C1 Elite right there, the black one right there, that was cheap guitars were out of the equation, man. They're way different as far as, and the I guess the what can I say? The confidence that
Yeah.
it gives you, and it does translate into the playing. We guitar, cheap guitars feel weird, and especially if I don't know, it's just me.
I have a very bad story with but it was a fluke. I wanted a Jazzmaster.
Oh God, that was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. I wanted a Jazzmaster so bad, but I did not want to pay $2,000 for a Jazzmaster. So I went and I got the Squire Jazzmaster. Now Robin has a Jazzmaster, and it sounds great. It plays great. It's the Squire Jazzmaster from Jay Mascis. I think that's probably where it was. But I went to Guitar Center, and I get the Squire. I think Classic Vibes 50s and 60s, and it has good reviews. Everyone was like, "This is great." I bring it home. I sticker it up a lot. And then the pickup dies on me.
Immediately.
Like immediately. I was playing with it and it just went out.
Yep.
I don't know
How
what
does that
happened because I don't know because it came back. But then I was looking around at the guitar and I was like, "What's going on?" I see the inner shielding is like popping out. I just think it was a bad guitar. But then I bring it back. I'm like, "Hey, can I return this? Because this is not working well." And they're like, "Yeah, you have." So I spent like maybe 2 hours at the Guitar Center in Metairie, scraping off with my finger,
Oh my god.
all the stickers individually, and they're decals too. So like, my hands were like bloody afterwards because they hurt. If you catch one by accident, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna probably buy a Squire Jazzmaster again. But it was like. The Robbins is fine, but that one was just a nightmare.
It's a Friday guitar. Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah, Monday or Friday.
Yeah. You ever heard about that, Matt?
No, I haven't.
So like I forget who was it that said it, but like you want to get a Wednesday guitar
Mm-hmm.
because
what that means.
if you're at like there's like a guitar manufacturing store or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, the Monday they're hungover, and Friday they're trying to get out of work.
Exactly. So you want to get one right in the middle where they're all like they're in the zone. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Okay, yeah.
Single cut be like a half a single cut, be like kind of weird on a Friday guitar. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I need to really catch myself because I'm developing a guitar addiction. It's not great.
Ah man,
So I'm from
not
New York
that big a
City.
deal.
I'm from New York City. I have this Taylor here. It's a 214 CE Deluxe. It sounds great. Back home, I have a Martin SC13E, which also sounds really good. I was like perplexed on which one to get, so I just got that one back home, and I got this one here. So I was like, well, you know what? When my studio's together, I'll have two different sounds that I liked, and then I have a really nice Strat. And Brody's all the time he's like, bring the Strat.
Literally bring the Strat
Here.
Just bring the
Bring
Strat
the
here.
Strat
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like, no, but I'm going to. So, and I'm trying to make my house a studio.
And then whenever you bring it here, I'm like, oh, you're copying me.
Kind of. If my parents are watching this, I'm not making the house the studio. I will have microphones around, and we're gonna record some stuff.
Just ambient noise.
Ambient noise, yeah. We'll make crickets. Go right into the mic, and
Yeah.
we'll play them. We'll play it all the time.
There's a lot of ways to get it, around in studio inside and stuff, man. I mean, me and my buddies, we've written like pretty much a whole album, drum and everything, and nobody never have even heard anything coming out of those speakers and stuff. But I think like the reason why I did was kind of like I was over relying on somebody else to put out music for us,
Right.
And
Yeah.
and I feel as though a few times that I was watching these people mess with the softwares or whatever they were doing to mix it, I was like, man, I could just sit there and learn how to do it. I mean,
Google.
I mean, if it doesn't sound good, then I'll just go in there and keep twisting knobs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that Robin is a pretty good mixer.
Yeah. Like
He
DIY
he has,
style.
I'm gonna say this. He has an album that is coming out soon. They're
Remastered.
remastering it because it got pulled off Spotify, which is really upsetting because I listened to that. It's my 4th listened album right now, and I was like, "What is going on? I love all these songs. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Problem with DistroKid. We'll figure this out right now." But Collections right now as a band, we just saw them on Wednesday. I think we might talk about that later. But they have a song called Bell. It's out, and it's really good. I love all his music, but the whole point about that is that he mixes masters his own stuff, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
So
I think it goes a long way, especially when you're trying to get your music out and let the people hear it the way you want it to hear. Want them to hear it.
right.
The DIY thing it works out, but it does pay to kind of let somebody else look at it also sometimes until
Yeah.
you can get to that stage of put it out. I mean, me personally, the stuff that we do, it probably could be a million times better,
Mhm.
but I'd rather do this kind of stuff, and it's the same thing. I'll
Yeah.
get in there, I'll get in the studio, and I'll try to see where
Yeah.
all the echoes and stuff, I'll just kind of cut them out and all that. But I kind of was gonna get back to a couple of these questions, but I think we're gonna take us a quick break, right quick.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, everybody out there.
How you doing?
I don't know if I look sick or this camera look like I'm dead over here in the camera. Like, but yeah, we're gonna take us a quick break. If y'all wanna mess around or whatever like that with some guitars or whatever, feel free to do so. And we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, guys.
All right, wonderful,
Cool.
Sweet.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get us a nice little segment on the live stream.
So yeah, this song's called "Love to Love You." And I'll wait right here alone for you, and I'll crawl back in a day or two. Promise me we'd have a night. Found the warm place to stick your knife. So goodbye, special party. I love to love you, darling. Goodbye, special party. Our love's now regarded.
Yeah.
I hope that one day we'll go down to CVS and you'll take the time to print us out, even though you won't forget. And you'll tape us to your wall to never look at us again. But that'll be alright, 'cause we'll always be friends. And goodbye, special party. I love to love you, darling. Goodbye, special party. Our love's now regarded. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, you got somebody calling Brody a badass in the chat.
He is.
Thanks, Dad.
Yes.
Where my money's at.
Oh my goodness, yeah, very very great. That was nice. And you know, as far as a live stream goes and this kind of environment, I think that sounded really good. I think it sounds good. Period. You know, y'all performing it and you know and able to write that. What was the name of that song again?
Love to Love You
By New Salem.
by New Salem. Yeah. When people say the band name, it's super interesting to me because I'm like, what? That's our name. That's the band.
It's the name. Like,
It's
what?
like the name. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I was at Loyola and I was with my friend Billy Birtles. Shout out Billy Birtles. And Dylan, my friend, he's in kissing disease. And he turns around and he goes, "Oh, is that Matt from New Salem?" I'm like, "You don't know. That's That's not real. You don't
There's no
know
way.
who I am. Yeah, you don't stop that.
It's really
It's
surreal.
Me, it's me.
Yeah. It's really surreal when I go back home because a lot of like my I don't know, like my inspiration and stuff comes from like where I'm from originally, which so for the record, I'm from like the middle of fucking nowhere, like a very much. Sorry, can we swear on here?
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was telling that, I was like, maybe we shouldn't swear.
I mean, it happens. So I mean, oh well.
Yeah. But no, in this case, it's warranted. It's a very like forgotten part of the world, but a lot of history there, and a lot of that kind of like weird, like surreal kind of place. A lot of times, that kind of like inspires like a lot of like who I am and like what I write about, especially since coming here, because there's not really anybody. Like I've met maybe 2 people who've heard of my town, in like the past 3 years. So I mean, it's kind of bizarre, and it's like right outside, like right south of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So it's like Pennsyltucky is what they call it. Pennsyltucky, yeah.
Pennsyltucky, shout out Pennsyltucky.
Yeah, but it's very strange, and I actually
that's not the real name though, right?
no.
Okay.
Fayette County, Pennsylvania, Uniontown, founded July 4th, 1776. Home of the Big Mac, invented the Big Mac.
You got some nice history going.
Oh,
on.
I can go for like an hour about all the crazy stories.
But
But
history, like he knows so much history. It's
that's what I was originally a major in.
Somebody said the near Pittsburgh syndrome. And
Yeah, yeah, it's real. It's very real. So New Salem is actually the name of a town, like just outside of there.
That's where I was going to get into that question. Yeah, go ahead and explain the name of the band, man.
Yeah. So there was I knew some people from there. This is a complete coincidence. I don't want it to be anybody else to think it was anything more than a coincidence. But I had an ex-girlfriend who lived in New Salem.
Oh my god.
I know, but totally unrelated. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's a shocker for me because I
Yeah.
just found that out. You haven't. Okay.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah. No.
I've had a girlfriend. That's a shocker. But yeah, so like I'll see like the big sign that says like New Salem, take a left in like 40 miles, and it's like, what? That's the name of my band. It's like, oh wait, that's where I got it from.
I will say, we've had a lot of Instagram handle changes because New Salem is a town. Also, I think there is a church choir that has New Salem for Spotify.
No way.
Because I was looking it up.
I looked it up too. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's fine. But
Whatever.
No, so.
Well, this New Salem has Matt and Brody in it.
That's
yeah,
true.
So-
exactly,
And their own local Riffs podcast right now.
Amen, brother.
for sure. But yeah, I'm terrible at picking names for anything. Actually, it's criminally bad. I can't even pick names for songs that sound good. I don't know. These names were never gonna actually happen. But I remember telling Brody, I was like, "What about penguins on a jitney?"
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
What about that?
Hey, it's creative, man. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely something.
It's definitely a band name, but you guys can steal that for
Definitely some words put together in the form of a
in
name.
a sentence. Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool that back home reminds you of the band name, and that's where you got it from. What kind of like in this area, what kind of local artists that y'all listen to that's kind of might have inspired things that for y'all as of recently or whatever, with y'all songwriting?
Yeah. So for sure, I'm gonna shout out Kissing Disease. They're a Loyal.
Yeah, you know.
They're a Loyolan band. I think they're a 4-piece. We saw them. What was it? Last Friday.
I think it was
Was it
Friday
last
at
Friday?
the Howling
At the
Wolf.
Howling Wolf.
Yeah.
And when I tell you they are some of the tightest like musicians that I've seen live, I'm not lying. They are incredibly talented. And their songwriting's great. The vocalist is very good too. And also, I will say Collections has been a big influence for me because I love Elliott Smith and like Sufjan Stevens and indie folk a lot. So that was the vibe for I think it's Agoraphobia. And so I really and their new music too is heavy too.
Yeah, we saw them Wednesday.
At the Saturn Bar.
It was incredible.
Well, y'all
It's
sound like y'all go to shows pretty often. Right?
Well, we tried to. It was
I'm
just
gonna try to catch y'all down there sometimes, man.
No, yeah, I think for sure we're gonna try to definitely do way more.
Yeah.
Get around,
For sure.
run around.
And play with these bands too.
Yeah. But Brody, what bands have you been?
Well, I remember back with my first band, we saw some that were really, really sick. Or we actually got the opportunity to play with them. One that immediately comes to mind is Atomic Broad. Um, I've met their front person a couple times. They're very cool. Um, like very good music. I'm like a big like riff kind of guy. Like
He's
you know,
huge in the riffs.
yeah, the riffs is it's like my main thing. Is like I think a lot of like modern like rock music is
Yep.
missing that type of element.
He'll play me a song, or he'll be listening to a song on the radio, and I'll pause the song and go, "That song got no riff. It doesn't have no riff.
We got no
No
riffs.
riffs.
No riffs. No riff. It's an
no riff."
epidemic. It's a silent killer. But Atomic Broad has riffs, so I got to give credit where credit's due there. And who else were we? There's a lot of good ones. It's hard to pick.
Brody, do you have riffs?
Oh, I got riffs.
Oh,
Oh.
I think you should show us some of this.
Let's see one riff you got, man. Not to put you on the spot, but we got the guitar, the mics.
Man, should I?
Yeah, you got
Should
this,
I?
man. Yeah,
Well,
you
you
got
know
this.
What kind of?
Speaking about Uniontown,
Yeah. Do you have a capo?
I have a capo.
I do not.
Oh wait, no, I don't have a capo. Do you
That's
have a capo?
I don't have a capo. I didn't bring one. But this song is one of our songs, "Nowhere Now," and usually it's on a capo, but whatever. And this song was written pretty much straight from experiences and like just the general vibe of living there. And here's like the riff for it.
Ta-da!
Riff.
I knew I was going to get at least one out of you. I had to get it out. But yeah,
I got
that sounded
plenty
great.
more. Thank you. Yeah, I got plenty more. It's just a lot of them are more for like electric.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, thank you for giving the opportunity.
That sounds
If I
great.
could get one of these bad boys down, then maybe we could be
Hey,
in business.
if it wasn't such a, I mean, we could.
It'd
It'd
be
be
a hassle.
loud as fuck.
No worries.
Yeah.
Another time.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a riff guy. Well, I'm a finger picking guy.
Well, let's see it.
All
Let's see a little finger pick riff.
I can Cool. This is a song I wrote during winter break. If you want, I can play it for you. But
Hey, it's up to you, man.
Is it a New Salem one?
yeah. No, it's not.
Let's just get a little snippet, man.
End on that chord. I don't know how to resolve it. It's alright.
That's one thing I've always been very jealous of Matt with is like he can do the finger style stuff. Like I basically self-taught, so like I just kind of figured out what I kind of knew how to do,
Mhm.
and I was never able to branch out of it. But so him being able to do that is very cool.
So a lot of my music, like journey, I'll give you an example. Like, the song, "Paranoid Android" by Radiohead. I was like, for a while, I couldn't do it. I couldn't finger pick. I
It's a
never
hard
thought
one.
I would be
That's
able
a really
to.
hard one.
But then I was like, oh, it was like maybe 1 in the morning. I was sitting there just staring at my guitar, and I was like, oh, I can play rhythm on the bass note. Like, I don't even know what that means, but like, but it worked, and I figured it out, and that's like been everything with like the song I'm working on now. I was like, well, I can just move my hands around and see if I can do it, and it just was a lot of effort. I have to say, like, I've been playing guitar for maybe 2 years, but this summer, when I knew that music was what I wanted to do forever, I really like locked in, and I was spending probably like 2-3 hours on the guitar, like every day over the summer, and then I mean now I don't. I'm either in a piano practice room or I'm on the guitar. There's nothing else that I'd rather do.
I've tried to do the finger picking also. I might be able to hit like a little 3 to 5 noter, and that's it. I had to go right into the power chord or something to like make it quick, you know.
I have this one riff that I've been kind of trying to practice with.
Oh, okay.
Like,
oh my god,
I'm gonna fuck it up, but
it's okay.
Right.
I'm
just gonna play with a pick.
No,
but you can get the idea.
Oh,
it's a good thing to practice on.
Okay, for the record, this is my first time hearing this riff.
And for the record, it's not.
Oh no!
Because I have showed you that before.
No, you haven't. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. Well, you know what? Okay. Well, this is the joke I was gonna segment to. Anyway, he'll do this. I'll be sitting there, and he'll just be like doing something. This is not like an example because it's much better. But he'll just his is much better. This is
Yours
not
is
great,
much
but
better.
I'll be like, whoa, what was that? What was that? Was that you? And he's like, yeah.
Anyway, next.
Like he'll just keep doing that, and he's like, oh, I just made the song, and they'll just, and I'm like, what? How'd that happen? How'd you do it? And he won't tell me. He never will. He just like it's like it comes to me.
I don't say it like that, but some things you got to keep secret.
Yeah, the secret sauce.
It's amazing you can just take a little bit and go a long way with it when it comes to you're just trying to write a riff or trying to create an idea for a song, and sometimes it just doesn't happen, but that might lead to what will make it happen. And even like when we used to record, man, we'd record riffs for hours and then like not use none of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'd be like just doing that create something, you know, and not even using nothing that you referred to. But and I guess if you if you're used to doing that, they do just come to you sometimes. Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty much like how I taught myself. It's like I would learn like I'll be like, that's sick. And then I remember this was very bold of me. Yeah. This was very bold of me. I was like, what if could I make that better? And then I was like, and I showed that to my grandma. I was like, which one do you like better? And she said the original one. I was like, I'll quit doing that.
Busted.
Yeah. But yeah, just coming at it from like that angle. That's how I've always kind of done it. So that's why it's like that.
I also I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not gonna quote that, but I have a bunch of riffs. For example, and that's called Battery, and it started with me walking back from Brody's house and going, "I'm just a battery." It's a terrible lyrics, but then I wrote that. I was like, wow, that's good. Then did not use it for like 5 months. Like we both looked at it and we were like, that is too much. And then we've been writing something for it.
Yeah. we came back to, like you said, like sometimes you're gonna put it down. It
Mhm.
starts with something, comes back around. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Yes, sorry. You gonna say that?
No, I'm just sitting back, man. Y'all can F it as much as y'all want. Don't mind me.
Yeah. With the finger picking specifically for me, I was like, oh, I can write this finger picking thing, but I'll never ever ever actually like make it a song. And now I've done it 3 times.
There you go.
So it's just like, for me, songwriting is you just gotta like just sit there, and sometimes it's like really rough, and sometimes I'll give him lyrics and he'll go like this. He won't tell me they're bad, but he'll go.
Like,
I don't know about that one.
Well, because if I tell you you're
maybe-
bad, then it's gonna hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt.
No,
your
it's
feelings.
okay.
No, it's not.
No, it's okay.
It's not okay.
That's all right.
But yeah, no, it's just a process of like constant,
Yeah.
like just grinding on it.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one more that I promise I'll put it down.
Oh, hey, I'm enjoying the show myself, man.
Wait for it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We still don't have lyrics for that, right?
Nope. One day.
I think it's really cool that I'm sitting in here watching y'all play, and it's going out like it is. You know,
It sounds great. I
People's
mean,
loving it.
I'm gonna be honest. This Taylor has never sounded as good as it has. We were playing outside on the street for our show,
Mm.
I think, and he was like, "Yeah, you're Taylor." The issue about I don't busk, but I will write outside. I like writing outside a
Mhm.
lot. And I've had very weird interactions with people who will come because I
You busk at like 11 at night on a
11
Friday.
at
It's like,
11 at
bro,
night.
I don't know what to tell you.
11 at
you
night.
gotta expect
I'll
that.
be,
Yeah.
I'll be sitting on a bench and I have this song. This is a New Salem song. Do you want me to?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
This is a song I wrote after a nightmare called For When You're Alone. All I need is some love and sympathy. A head or shoulder to cry on. But all you'll be is my misery. So leave as a memory and be gone. I run my hands against my face, against the scars and decayed tissue. Was it the love that drew us away, or was my broken soul fishing? And all I need is some love and sympathy. Hey,
my favorite song of yours that you've written.
Thank you.
That's a really good one. And usually when he sings it, you can hear him from 2 blocks away.
Oh my God, yeah,
that's true. That is
we
true.
had the first ever.
Like there's Matt around the corner, man.
So that's that's. So we had
We had like an outside practice one time.
So there's a lot of that. There's a lot going on. We had an acoustic show. That was like our first ever live show was Nola Mix for sure. But we had an acoustic show. That maybe some of you guys watching were there because it was like a close friends thing. Maybe some of you guys are seeing.
And it was in my house.
It was in his house.
I missed it, man.
Yeah, and it was super funny too because we were supposed to have it outside because he has a very ambient backyard that was awesome, and it starts pouring, and so we're like, so we're eating breakfast, and we're like, you know what, we're gonna get a tarp. We're gonna get a tarp for us so the guitars don't get wet. So
Like
we buy
a
this
easy up or something.
yeah, this gigantic tarp, and we put it up. And then it starts like pouring.
Yeah.
And Robin consistently goes, and we wanted them to go outside and be outside in this weather. And it was like flooding.
And like my backyard is already basically a swamp.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I just had it in my head, you know, like we do a backyard show, it'll be cool. And like I look outside and it looks like the 40th day.
It's like,
yeah.
The 40th day. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we were practicing outside for that show, and I was really excited to show some of our friends singing Noah this song, and I play it, and Robin, I think
yeah. So how it happened was we had like finished our practice, like they were just walking by, and Robin had like helped me move my stuff to there. So he was going to give me a ride back to his house, right? So, like, you know, we leave. So, like, the park's, like, here. There's, like, a street down. There's, like, a whole block of houses, right? And then we're walking to his car, like, a full block away, keep in mind. Like, I can't stress enough. Like, you don't think it's that far, but, like, it's kind of far. It's far. Yeah, it's far. Sure. And all we hear is, and oh, yeah. Sorry to peek the mic, but... over the rooftops. It was impressive, and also like, man, people are trying to sleep.
Yeah, every time I practice in my dorm when I invite Brody over, I'm like, so we have this like song we're working on, and it's like a full belt.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's practice it, and he goes, but your neighbors. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
So like, yeah, there is an issue, and you know what? If you guys are listening to this and you're on River Floor 6, I am so sorry. However, I will keep practicing because I there's no other, like, I'm not like the music.
I'm sorry
hall,
you feel that way. It's not gonna change.
The music hall is like all the way across campus. That's like I have to walk, and like it's a whole thing. No, I'm so loud. I'm so loud talking sometimes where like I'll be in a diner with them and they'll go, just quiet, please.
Take it down
I'm so loud that I was playing outside when I usually do, and I found a spot that I like. It's in a courtyard, and one of the RAs walks up to me, goes out of the building, comes up to me and goes, "Hey, so listen, you can keep playing, but people inside the building can hear you." And it's midterm season. So if you could quiet down, like, listen, first of all, personally, I love it. It sounds great. But
there's the but.
Yeah, of course.
But and I was like, you know what? I'm already gone. I was trying to write a song. It didn't work. And he was like, no, don't leave, but leave. So that was what happened. And yeah, I can't. When I belt, it's just like, it's just going to happen. It's just too loud.
I'm here for it. It's just like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People are trying to sleep sometimes. Save it for the stadium.
I will say, you know what? People are trying to sleep. But one day at like 11 in the morning, I was playing a song, and I got a text from my RA saying, hey, I know it's not quiet hours, but quiet down. I'm like, it's 11 in the morning. At least let me wake you up, because you should be up.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of sweet sound in the morning. Yeah.
And so yeah, I'll always apologize to my neighbors, but then I'll always say, but you know, on the load, did I sound good? Like, do I sound all right? And they're like, yeah, it's I can just hear it in my dorm. And I'm like, well,
like, there's a time and place, I guess. I don't know. I'd be the same way if I could, especially if I could finger pick like that. That's all you'd hear is
Yeah,
all day
right?
long. I'd be doing
That
shit,
no,
man.
I got the RAs called on me because I tuned my amp all the way up, and I was literally playing the.
Like you're just an asshole for that one. I'm sorry. You're just kind of an addict. Yeah, because there's a gap under his door about that big, and the doors are made out of like world's finest plywood. Not even plywood.
I straight up think
Half
I was
plywood.
I think I was just doing. I don't think I was changing.
Oh, just a back and forth. Oh yeah.
All my life, living for this moment, but the moment's gone.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Dust
You're my
in
boy,
the
Blue.
wind.
This guy right here, man. I've played this one live, and I think the loudest I got was 3.
Yeah.
And it'll scald you.
The loudest I've gotten on my Blues Junior is 3.
Yeah. If I go to 5 and you're sitting right there, yeah,
You're
about to
gone.
get destroyed. Yeah.
Like that scene from Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Now,
a funny thing too.
I've had this one to 10, but
Yeah.
this one I don't even want to come close.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing too is that I'm really like noise
Sensitive.
noise sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be near drums. Like if you put
Be
me near
like-
drums, I'll be like, "Ooh." Like we
Let me
just-
stand
we-
behind
we
the
ju-
shield.
Yeah.
we just purchased a kit. I think from Tam Nicole Raw. I'm gonna maybe I shouldn't say that.
Probably shouldn't say.
Right, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But shout out to her because she's such a she said when that she would love a shout out.
Oh.
They were very nice to give us that kit. But when Charlotte was playing it, my face, I was trying to be like happy because it was a kit, and I'm like super happy. But I was like, this
We're
is so
in that little room there. Yeah.
But yeah, no.
My like main amp, like my baby, right?
Mhm.
Like that's it. Whenever I got her, like this is the last amp I'll ever need. It's I think it's a Fender. I want to say Pro Reverb.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's
it is.
yeah,
It is.
it's one of like the newer the newer lines of like the twin reverb family,
Mm.
and it's 50 watts. And I've never gone, even at shows, I've never gone above 4. Like
That's a 212 or a 210.
I want to say, actually, I don't even know if it has 2. I want to say like, it's not big. 210 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not
is
big
that?
at
What
all.
does
Yeah,
that
those
mean?
little 50 watters coming out of Fender is,
Yeah.
especially if they got like the Pentoid to where you can change it to 100 or drop it down to
Oh, yeah.
25 or
My
something like
practice amp has one like that.
Yeah, the Boss Katana.
Yeah.
Shout out Ciara, that's her amp that she uses. But yeah, no, my Blues Junior. The issue is when I've been playing songs now, I want to play them loud, and then when I turn them down, I'm like, God darn, it's quiet. But I'm in my dorm. I'm like, I can't.
And you can hear the riff supposed to be loud too.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I just want to turn it up a little
so
bit.
I practice my set list like so when I'm practicing Cherub Rock, I'll have the metronome in my ear, and I'll be playing it, and I'm like, oh, but I could just turn it up.
There's a they make things where like you can get like headphones.
I have them.
You should try those.
I don't know how to set it up where it can connect to my pedal board is the only issue.
I don't know.
But that's a whole thing. That's a whole shebang.
But yeah.
Well, guys, I'm actually still kind of like elated because of just actually doing this with the live stream and seeing how it works. I'm really glad that we could sit down and jam and now I'm thinking about doing this almost every time now. I might jam too while people's on. We'll be in it in a few minutes. I just wanted to kind of thank y'all again because I know I think y'all are pretty much y'all reached out or booked put it on the schedule to do the podcast like almost immediately after the Nola Mix show. And I just thought it was cool to come there and get somebody that wanted to be on the show. I mean, it show interest in what we were doing.
100%.
And I just think with that whole show, I think was a good vibe, and I'm glad that we did. I was going to stick around and talk, and I told you already. I caught a whole nother show that day.
Yeah.
2 of them actually.
All good.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
so it's kind of like I kind of try to I caught some of it, but I was like okay. And then my buddy that was there, he had the mohawk.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that that y'all was asking or inquiring about, and I was like, yeah, man, hopefully they get with us and stuff. And it was almost immediate, like the next day or two
Yeah,
and stuff.
I turned to Brody and I was like, we need to get on this.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's get on. Well, we need to get on this podcast.
Very hungry.
Well, hopefully it's you know, it was cool. It's a cool experience. I mean, and that's what we're trying to do, is just trying to, you know, reach out to bands and extend, you know, the olive branch, and also, you know, the appreciation for, you know, doing music. I mean, it takes a lot to get out there in the scene and you know, continue doing it. And like you were saying earlier, being determined and dedicated to, you know, just wanting to get out there because you love it, and hopefully things, you know, flourish out of that. But it gives the listener something, you know, different avenues to approach music. And that's what I'm all about, is I love, and I'm a heavy metal, death metal guy, don't get me wrong, but I also like finding new music, something that I'm not familiar with, or and it doesn't have to be, you know, heavy music at all. Hell, the last 2 or 3 episodes has been hip hop and cloud rap, you know, which is something new for me. And that's what I think that, you know, having it on the show and you know, getting the word out, and having y'all on, especially kind of, you know, seeing what drive y'all have, and even seeing y'all that day at NOLA Mix, the energy was great. So, you know, I was really excited to get y'all, you know, on the show once y'all, you know, y'all inquired. I was like, hell yeah. And it, not only that, just, it makes for good content on both sides. I mean, hell, that's going to be some good footage of y'all playing some music. So,
we just want to thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's always a pleasure. We you know, the main thing is, like, we just love sharing what we've been working pretty hard on the music, and we just want people to listen and have some fun, because that's what it's all about. Be kind, love,
be evil.
No. He's the pessimist and I'm the optimist. That's
like there we go.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm always I even did like my senior project on kindness. I just think, like, I was talking to you about it during the break. It's just like being kind and just understanding people is like one of the most beautiful things that I can do. And I'm just really happy that we were able to share this with you guys and the viewers. And it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that kind of brings me to the last question, and that's just letting the listeners and, you know, people know how they can reach out to y'all, or you know, see anything, or if y'all got new music coming out or anything soon, just let the listeners know.
Yeah.
How they can get in touch with
yeah.
y'all.
We have 2 shows.
Yeah.
We have a show April 11th. It's a battle of the bands. And hopefully we will battle and win. And then we have a show at El Kukui.
Yep.
On April 13th. And our this is
with a bunch of other bands. Really
with
cool.
a bunch of, it's going to be very fun, and also Brax is going to be there. Shout out Brax.
Shout out Brax.
Forgive me, but our Instagram handle for everyone who wants it is New Salem, but the E is a 3.
The first E.
The first E. We've gone through like 8 of them, but Ciara really likes that there is a 3 in our name, so we
just stuck with the original one.
Yeah, it was 2, but it doesn't
the
matter.
E's are 3s. It's so smooth.
Oh, right. But the first E is 3.
Yeah.
You could just change it again, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up on like 14 days. I've changed that name like 4. I run the social medias and everything, so it's just and TikTok as well. It's the same thing. It's everything. And then if you guys want to email us, it's newsalemnola@gmail.com. newsalemnola@gmail.com. I will not give my phone number. I was about to, but I'm
yeah, maybe don't.
1-888.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
One more question. What's y'all's favorite pizza toppings?
It's a big question.
I like to stump them every time.
Okay, so very strange to admit this publicly, but I have a dark secret.
Oh, right,
up until like a year or two ago, up until I came to school, really, I didn't. I was insanely picky. Like, I didn't even like sauce on my pizza, but I've grown a lot. So now I recently discovered that I like pretty much everything. I like artichoke, underrated pizza topping.
There's a really good artichoke pizza place in New York City.
I bet there is.
Yeah.
New York boy.
Okay. Okay. I will say, I'm from New York City. People are gonna be thinking, oh, he knows his pizza. I don't. I like plain. if the group wants to order pepperoni, I go, can we do half so I can have both? And
Greedy.
I like how you called it plain and not
Yeah.
cheese.
I just
Am I correct? It does have cheese on it, right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it does. No, my
Just bread.
a lore thing for me was my friend. I always just ate pizza as it was. I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so when
Mhm.
they'd always eat pizza,
Oh, yeah,
I'd be
ice
like,
cream
"That's so
and
cool.
all that stuff on the pizza.
Yeah. Well, no, but I
tried
have you tried who's you've tried ice cream on pizza?
I said I would. I would.
Okay. You know what? Maybe. But my friend would always like serrate the pizza. Like they'd take the cheese off. Like they'd order it with cheese to take it off, and that was always confusing to me.
Cruel
They
and
do it just like
unusual
having like a
punishment.
wad of cheese on the plate
But-
over there. Like
Yeah, they peel it like
Like with
torture.
a knife. With a knife. But I will shout out my favorite pizza place of all time. I went there with my dad all the time. I still go. Arturo's Pizza. It's in New York City. It's on the Upper East Side. They make some pretty fire pizza, but I'm also not picky because I eat Domino's, which apparently is a really hot take, but I like it.
yeah, I'd like 2 medium plains, please.
Sir,
Sir, is that with sauce or not?
That's no one's pushed back on the plain. I've always said that. I've never had someone be like push back on. Yeah, no, I maybe. Oh yeah, 2 cheese pizzas. I'll from this conversation it'll be cheese pizza for me.
My luck, I'll order the pizza and it'll be just the bread.
Oh, I know. That is a huge thing for me. I've been ordering pizza so much recently, and it won't. They won't.
There's no bread. There's no bread on it.
Remember, like we ordered pizza, and like they won't cut the pizza.
Oh,
Yeah, there's an epidemic of stolen
they-
pizza cutters in the city. I don't know what's going on.
No, but that's not even
to
true.
tear it off like breaking bread. Here you go, guys.
I've been ordering. I've ordered the Brooklyn style Domino's pizza 4 times, and they cut it down the middle, and then they cut another angle, and then they just won't cut it again. It's like,
Well, guys, I want to thank y'all again. I really appreciate y'all coming on. I really appreciate y'all bringing y'all's guitars and playing a few riffs for us
course.
and a couple songs. Can't thank you enough. I just want to say thank you to all the supporters out there. Thank you for look, they're blowing up the artichoke, green olives.
Crazy take, I know, but artichoke is underrated.
It's not on a crazy chick. There's a famous pizza restaurant that does artichoke pizza.
Where in New York?
Yes.
The
Who would've
origin
thought?
of
Who would've guessed?
The origin of pie.
Yeah, they got a pizza. They got a special restaurant for like every pizza topping. There.
Every pizza topping.
Every pizza topping. Anything you can imagine.
pine-
There was
Pineapple.
a really good mac and cheese restaurant I went to in
That's crazy.
New York. Yeah, it was just mac and cheese. They didn't serve anything else. It was also like a very liminal space. It was just like a white room.
That's what's
and
up.
they gave you mac and cheese.
Well, guys, thanks again. Again. The beauty part about the live stream is that we can see all of us laughing like crazy. Thanks again, everybody in the chat, and we really appreciate y'all sticking around and checking us out. Thanks to all the people listening to local riffs out there. We've been here with season 2 episode. This is going to be 6 with New Salem. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out and
We're gonna get conspiracy theories made on us. 'cause
Good.
you have a triangle on your eye.
look.
Oh no.
Hold on, how's it go? Yeah, there it is. Hit the old Morgus.
Moose. I just got moosed.
I've never heard of it called
Yeah,
moose before.
it's called moose.
I thought it was like Batman.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great time out there. We're going to be checking out Siberia tonight. Thanks for listening. This has been episode 6 of season 2. I think I said that already. Local Riffs. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.